Good evening. Before I actually get into the actual speech, as a coach here, we have won numerous titles. We've won divisional championship, sectional championships, state championships, but the one, I guess, championship that's holding us back from really being the best of all is the Principal's Cup. And we are getting a bit closer, but as Mr. D said a little earlier, I'm always predicting championships, and I'm going to put it out right now. I believe next year, the boys wrestling team is going to win the Principal's Cup. In life and on the mat, winning does not come easy. Winning only after enormous sacrifice, extreme dedication, and both emotional and physical dedication. In March of 2020, everyone's life came to a screeching halt. Like most programs, we could have been completely shut down, we could have stopped working, stopped preparing, and consequently, stopped winning. Instead, we spent Wednesday nights at home in our Google Classroom on a Google Meet doing wrestling mindset training and chatting about how the boys were feeling mentally and emotionally. Our boys found ways to work out, to continue to get stronger, and to continue to make themselves better wrestlers. Just as important, if not more so, our parents bought in, especially our mothers. Moms, you clap. Like the wrestlers, our parents invested themselves into making this team better, and the end result was on Super Bowl Sunday, February 13th, 2022, nearly 2 years later, we were crowned New Jersey state champions. At the outset of this season, we discussed in detail how this team wanted to leave their legacy. At first, many didn't even understand what legacy meant. The best way that I could describe what legacy means is that a young tree grows better when it's planted in an area with the older trees. The reason is that the roots of the young tree are able to follow the pathways created by former trees and implant themselves more deeply. Over time, the roots of many trees may actually graft themselves to one another, creating an intricate, interdependent foundation hidden under the ground. In this way, stronger trees share resources with the weaker ones so that the whole forest becomes healthier. That is what legacy means. If you were to ask the wrestling experts of the short conference and those throughout the state of New Jersey what Raritan wrestling legacy is in one word, they would all say the word tough. And while that is true of many of our teams, and even this team, it is not the true legacy of the 2022 state championship team. Looking back at our teams that have left the greatest legacies, our sectional and group champions, we see the sectional championship team of 2004, which was known for pulling off one of the greatest upsets in sectional history. That team beat Del Val by having everyone buy into the program. No wrestler was greater than the team. Phil O'Hara and Kevin Whalen pulled off end of the third period heroics, while TJ Mitchell upset a future state champion by physically and mentally breaking him for the win. Christopher Rafalco, oldest of all the Rafalco boys, was a member of that team. Michael Sagos and Matt Kendall closed it out by winning the final two bouts that night. The legacy that team left was that of belief. As one unit, they believed they willed their way to a sectional championship. The legacy of the 2012 first state championship team in school history was that of competition. That team wrestled one of the toughest schedules ever assembled. That team seasoned themselves throughout the trials of elite level wrestling, and they put in the time in the offseason to make it happen. That team defeated Delsey for the state championship. Nick Rice held on with a head and arm in the ride-out overtime period, but it was our Viper Cradle hit by Lindo, Scarcella, and Ligori that pulled us ahead with enough points to lead us to victory. Coincidentally, a young Kyle Lynch held a state champion to just a decision to clinch the victory, and that was the epitome of the level of competition legacy that team left. The 2018 team followed a different path. That team had tremendous star power and may have been the best in school history. The 18 team fell short to High Point in the group finals, but defeated a number 7 Jersey-ranked Hanover Park in the semis of the group. Our assistant coaches, Charles Morale and Ethan Wolf, were part of that team. This team was known for not only being tough, but were technically very good and were dangerous. A.J. Irvin could take you down with his double. Russell Benson could take you down with his knee pull to an armbar. Christian Sucadillo threw his boots to a power half. Anthony Aquilano hit his vicious headlock. George Burdick intimidating almost all his opponents with his rough style of wrestling, as Justin Acevedo with his lefty fireman's, and Ethan Wolf was a man amongst boys. The legacy of this team was not only the toughness it showed, but also the skill it executed. So what is the legacy of the 2022 team? This team built the foundations of toughness, belief, competition, and skilled execution of the past, and has added to that a complete sense of selflessness. Almost every wrestler on this team competed in more than one weight class. Oftentimes, this team was asked to wrestle up or wrestle down, and our wrestlers were sometimes put into situations that were better for the team, but may not have been better for the individual. Instead of complaining, this team bought in a big way. Ryan Mansueto versus Rumson in the sectional final, won in a rematch in the worst way, but was asked to bump up to a bigger opponent, which he won. Braden Kamak was asked to cut down a weight for the better of the team, and having to wrestle in the sectional final down a weight up against a region champ and pulling off the Shaughnessy pin. The eyes always remained on the prize, and the wrestlers trusted the coaching staff and the moves made without reservations. In short, this was a true team. Our wrestlers were accountable to one another and refused to accept defeat. At the group final at Franklin High School, our captain, Nick Burns, as consistent as always, won by a major decision. Matt Urban pinned his opponent with a cradle in a toss-up bout. Braden Kamak pinned once again. Logan Acevedo inserted into the lineup for a huge win. Zach Riley, sick as a dog, caught his opponent after being down in points for the fall. Alex Oleta with a huge victory in a toss-up bout. And we all remember Bobby Mulligan vipered his opponent and celebrating with his now famous walk-off swing celebration. And Kieran Falzone finished it off for us for the New Jersey State Championship. In the end, this team may be the best ever, if for no other reason than the fact they would do whatever it took to win. I am extremely proud of this group as they have added their legacy to this powerhouse program, and as a result, we are stronger than ever. Seniors, let's celebrate this accomplishment tonight. Enjoy the success. Wear these rings proudly. And for everyone returning, attach yourself to those roots, and let's do it all again next year. Thank you.